everyone, and welcome to the What the Sheep podcast, where Alana and myself will be discussing and breaking down Critical Role Campaign 3 Episode 9. Boy, oh boy, did this first episode of the new year deliver. This episode was chock full of just so much chaos, so much lore, names, hilarity, drama. I loved it. I loved it.
They zigzagged around the city so much.
Oh yeah.
It was so good. So much stuff happened.
This was too much, almost. Too much. I feel bad for Esteros at this point because I feel like they visit him at least 5 times a day now at this point. But that's the nature of it. But before we get into the deep lore and the meat of this episode, we got to start from the beginning. We got to work our way up to that, to the main course. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the very beginning, the cliffhanger that we left off on. Fern.
I forgot about the cliffhanger.
The 3 guards, actually. Yeah.
I forgot about the cliffhanger. I forgot until Matt was describing like the recap. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's Fern is trapped with the guards and she had a plan and she was ready to go. And she's wonderful. We're so lucky to have Ashley back at the table full time.
It's so good. And Fern is such a completely different character from Yasha, because Yasha was obviously very reserved, not too much into the talking, but Fern is very chaotic, outgoing.
Just says what she feels.
Says what she feels. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
So I was theorizing we were theorizing what her plan could be. That's ultimately what it was. She was going to try to lie and charm her way out of it with Charm Person. But some complications made it a bit rough, but eventually Charm Person is just such a funny spell. Because it was such an instant 180 from like, all right, we're gonna arrest you in this interrogation to no, just to take off the shackles, man, like we're chilling. We're chilling.
It's gotta be fun, like for any DM, but especially for Matt as an actor, to like play this kind of hard and rigid guard character who is very suspicious and very, disbelieving and in control of the situation, to then flip it and still be the same character, but be very much, welcoming and friendly and, like, oh, happy to see you sort of thing. I love Charm Person because you just get to see essentially the character at their best. They're friendly and amiable, and it's lovely. But I particularly loved how she's saying like, oh, the direwolves, there's direwolves attacking, and they're just like, what? Because as we later learned, there weren't any direwolves, so they're just like, right, cool. So it's like probably the worst thing she could have lied about.
That's the irony of the situation. What makes it so hilarious, because then we did learn that Gurge was actually this dire wolf. How he's seemingly able to change into a wolf-like beast.
Maybe there was some kind of word for this.
That's a little suspicious, if you ask me. But okay, at this point, with the information we were given, he could just be a druid. Could be a druid, and he was able to shape change, or wild shape into a direwolf. Could be. Could be. But then what was funny is once the Charm Person was established, the rest of the party trying to bust down the door to break in, because the last thing Imogen heard from Fern was, I think they are going to kill me. So
It's impossible that they have this much trouble with doors. Like
it's insane. Actually, it transcends campaigns.
This might be one of the worst ones they've had. Like they, and to the point where even their efforts were then making it harder to get in. Like, because I think it was Orum's like, I'm going to try and cut through the hinges. He's like, it would have worked if they hadn't already been smashed by Ashton.
It was just making it worse. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I do love that we do get this connection with Imogen, and that she can kind of keep in touch with people, because even though she has like a one-on-one telepathic connection, the people still give her nothing. So it's like, yeah,
Yep.
she's like with Fern, like, what can we do to help? She's like, oh, I'm probably going to be killed now, and then that's it. Like that's the last thing she hears. And it's just like for a character like Imogen, who we assume has like a bit of anxiety and a bit of nervousness, it's just like perfect to add that onto her anxiety. And
just throw it on. Just throw some more on there, more trauma.
Tack it on. Tack it on.
Then what was hilarious, because now that we established there were no like dire wolves roaming free, running rampant around Drusar, when the rest of the party eventually did like break in, Fern brought up the direwolf thing again, where she was like, "Did you take care of the direwolves? Like, did you get them?" But it's like, wait, but there were no direwolves. That was I think she even caught herself after one of the guards
like,
had said something. But the most important thing that we got from this was a name, Artana Vo, the name of the bounty hunter who was hired by another individual who we later learned the name of to retrieve Gurge and bring them back to wherever that is. So Artana Vo was a cool name, by the way.
Yeah, and it made me, I mean, I know that you can reuse names and everything, but Vo being like the island of Vo was a bit of, I don't know, it's probably not a callback, but I remember there was, a bounty hunter on the island of Vo. She was a furbolg. I'm fairly certain Artana's half elf or half orc?
Half elf, half orc, yeah.
So probably not related to the island.
Probably not.
But it's just a cool name, but still, it's like...
That wouldn't be the first potential connection from a previous campaign.
No. Maybe the Furbolg bounty hunter from the island went on to create a Vo bounty hunting community.
True. And like Vo is like the clan name. Like like the Mandalorians. On a Vo.
Sure.
He's a Mandalorian. Anyways,
there you go.
I've been watching too much the Book of Boba Fett. So eventually, they're able to, leave this situation surprisingly without any issues. That charm person really coming in clutch. But they do have a lead now, following the name of Artana Vo.
And they went back to Esteros at this point?
Yes, this was the first time that they go back to Esteros this episode. I think they went to him twice.
Twice, yeah.
But yes, this is the first time.
This was the first time since they had dealt with the Mimic Wall and been to the theater, all that sort of stuff.
And so once they hit up their old buddy Lord Esteros again, giving them the rundown, the 411 of the stuff that they've been dealing with. They solved the mystery of the theater and destroyed the wall.
Yeah.
Which thank goodness they did.
But
now, okay, this is kind of. Let's think of the wall. Keep in mind the wall, because I want to come back to it when we get to the end of this episode.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, I want to come back. I think you know why. But they inquired about this Artana Vo, and they also explained the connection of the Treshy family to this wall, because they were the ones who were contracted to repair this wall, and then this happened. So there's some funny business going on there. But what Lord Esteros also said in regards to the Treshy family is that one of them could potentially be a secret member that sits on the Shande Quorum, and they're kind of, I guess, like the council of the city.
Yeah.
They run the show.
I find it so hard to believe that no one knows who's on. Sounds like a running joke from campaign 2 now, but that no one knows who's on the council.
Oh yeah,
I get that it's secretive, and I get that it is meant to be hidden. But you've got to, and it's probably just maybe Lord Esteros doesn't know, but there has to be people that know. And there has to be like some follow up with them. There has to be some kind of what's the word I'm looking for, like oversight of them, I guess. Or maybe not, maybe they're free of oversight. But I like this idea that one of the Treshy Guild members could potentially be on the quorum, and be careful, be careful with what you're saying to anyone.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of awful if you think about it. That you can't say. It's a little bit totalitarian. It's a little bit spooky.
It is a little bit. I'm beginning to see the like layers of like corruption and just like tangled mess of things that the upper echelons of the city really is.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a whole lot.
It's constantly also like growing, because every time I'm a little bit lost, I'll be honest, with like the quorum and the different spires, because Matt will be like, the quorum and this 4 group of spires with this group and like the moon tower, and I do get a little bit lost in the geography of the city, and also just the different organizations and power structures in the city.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it sounds like a shill. Can't wait for the guy, the tower guy. And we can get like a city map, and we can get, a table with the structures of Drusar, because it is a little bit, I don't know, I'm just on holiday mode, but I'm just like, who are these people again? What are they?
Yeah,
what?
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. There's a lot. There's a lot, and it feels like we're finally getting into that.
That is true. It does feel like we are getting some clarity as we go in. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only gonna be more so because apparently there's a ball that's coming up.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all of them can get in. But I mean,
they're all getting in regardless. Like,
oh yeah, of course.
If only 3 of them get an invitation, the rest are breaking in. Somehow.
Oh yeah. Like they said, they could sneak under like Fern's ball gown if she just wears like a big, It's
hilarious.
That would be perfect. But the other big thing is we now have like a timeline on when they're gonna see Oshad. The next day or two. They just need a little bit of warning, and then the warning was given, so the next day or two, and we're gonna get some more Oshad stuff.
It's wild how like off track that feels now, seeing Oshad, because there's so much new stuff that's going. Because it used to be like Oshad, you need to see Oshad. Now it's like, what is all this other stuff?
It's like
worry about.
Remember back in campaign 2, like towards the end, when we were like, forget about the dragon turtle, forget about Vokodo, like this is the new thing, and then it was like, forget about Lucian, now we have the Somnova, like forget about this, now we have this. Like this entire episode was just that. Like every new scene, there was just a new thing to be like, forget about what we were just talking about.
Yeah. We need to find Brescia. No, we need to find Vo. No, we need to find Valio. No, go. We need to go.
Yeah. Gurge who? I don't even know who Gurge is anymore.
I didn't add him to the list.
Good lord. But yeah, I'm super excited because Oshad Brescia, like that whole story has been one of the more intriguing things.
Links to the Keyleth attack.
Yeah.
The Aeroshari attack, which will be very interesting to see what the fuck is up with that.
Yeah. So. God, we need to know more. But then, relaying the name Artana Vo to Esteros, he was able to tell the rest of the party that she has a sister, Preyo Madali.
Madali, yeah.
Who runs the Soot and Swill Tavern in one of the spires whose name is escaping me. All I know is the core spire. That's the only one I can really remember.
Like maybe one of the lesser spires, because it didn't seem like the most high-end establishment.
No. And honestly, they're probably going to go broke at this point. The amount of times that they're spending that silver piece every time they have to go between the the spires.
They need a daily pass.
They do.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do have a lot of gold, so
I love
as long as
gets about the fast pass.
I loved Liam's joke about the haunted one background. It's based around the fast pass. That's where her haunting comes from.
I love it.
Oh my god. But they were also, all of them were on fire tonight with jokes and all that stuff. And I love, because there was a lot of improv moments in this episode in particular. I mean, there's a lot of improv moments all the time, but I feel like this one, it was like every scene had something that wasn't totally planned and was just totally out of nowhere. And it's funny, it's amazing, it's hilarious how they can just work off each other and keep building off of it But then it's also hilarious when they can't like think of something fitting for the moment, like when they were talking about dates. This is skipping ahead a little bit, but they were talking about dates, and Laudna had mentioned how she had a crush on a boy back when she was alive. And then Liam asked for the name, and we were expecting, like, I don't know, some high fantasy name, but instead we got Andy. Whitestone Andy.
Yeah. And it's just
so
the
good.
way she said it too. You can tell her, she's like, if I start saying it, the rest will come, because it's like, Andy. Like,
yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it's just hilarious how they can have these really amazing improv moments, coming up with just wild things on the spot, and then contrast to that, Andy.
It happened again at the end of the episode. It's not like a big talking point, but I think it was when they were heading towards the moon tower, and they were talking to the guard, and it was like the young guard who was kind of like super disinterested with their job, and like, said, "You like working here? Yeah. Did you get off soon? Soon." Like just a constant barrage of questions, and they're just the guy was just giving them the answers.
Yep.
Like, super honest, super short answers. You like working with that guy? Yeah. I love that. That was such a good scene. Because
it was.
They picked up so quickly on how Matt was role playing that character, and they just went with it.
Yep.
And yeah, it was really fun. But yeah, you're right. The improv that night was excellent.
And then Liam doing the classic, because he did this. He's done this many times. But I remember in campaign 2 when they were looking for like a magical shop, Liam will just be like, "Excuse me, grandfather," or something, and it was like, "Excuse me, ma'am," like just pulling these random characters, and then Matt having to just create them.
Yeah.
But then it's so good because then he doesn't even just give a basic description. Like he went like full detail, the clothes they're wearing, like specific details about them. Like it's so cool. It's so cool to watch him do that. And I know because Liam has said in different like talks machinas and stuff how he does it on purpose because he loves seeing like the characters that Matt can just create on the spot.
Yeah.
It's just really cool. But refocusing our attention to the soot and swill. There was a lot that happened in this scene. There was a lot, and I love Preo Madali. I love that character. I love her personality, the way that Matt was characterized her, and I feel like every episode that goes by, I love Ashton more and more, just because of how hilarious he is trying to explain like these different like situations that he's been in involving like bars and being kicked out and people hating him and all that stuff. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. I
love everything that Ashton says. But there was a whole lot. There was a whole lot that happened in this scene. Because I mean they had to ask subtly, or maybe not so subtly, Preo about her sister, the bounty hunter, the infamous bounty hunter, Artana Vo. And you know, after some inquiries by FCG, he was able to determine that Artana is probably somewhere in the kitchen, probably somewhere behind. But just the chaotic nature of this whole scene was just so hilarious because each of them kind of had their own like roles to play in this one. You know, we had the distracting table of Fern, Imogen, and Laudna. Then we had Chetney doing the early reconnaissance. FCG being the distract. Oh my god! Because I was thinking, and I don't know, because FCG has a low intelligence, so it could be Sam playing to that, or Sam just forgot. Because when Ashton was like, "Do the bottle trick," I thought he was gonna like drink the alcohol and then like dispense it. So either Sam forgot about that, or he was playing to the hilarity of the scene, and it was just like, I'm gonna pretend that I don't forget that, and I'm just gonna do something random.
Yeah, it's just him balancing a bottle on his head.
But hey, when you get a natural 20, stuff works out. It works out.
I loved Matt towards the end of that scene being like, they've kind of gotten over it at this point.
Yeah.
That was it lost its glamour a little bit.
Yeah, I think even Sam was like, it's just moving back and forth, guys. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting of a thing. But that was great. But I think the true highlight of this scene. Well, there was a couple. One of them was when Chetney did his initial exploration, and he was like, "There's a bookcase. There's a bookcase, and there's a there's a secret door behind there." Whether the bookcase actually turning out to just being a serving cart.
Yeah. It's where's the bookcase, Chetney?
Where?
It's massive in front of me.
That's a serving cart, Chetney. Oh,
I love
my God,
how they're playing with the size. So much. It's great.
Yeah. But it's funny that they're doing that with Chetney when, I mean, Orem has been a part of this group since the beginning, and he's also maybe a bit taller, but it's so good.
Like, I was about to make a Chutney reference, but I was going to say, well, Chetney might have been living around gnomes his whole life.
True.
But
True.
Maybe not.
Well, also true because he grew up in Uthadern, so dwarves and stuff. So I guess there's that. Yeah. But the true hero of this whole scene is the chef. Chef Pretty, the ogre.
Pretty the ogre.
I love Pretty so much. The tears welling up. Oh my God. Oh, it was so adorable.
The way Matt played it, like as he's getting the compliment, just holding in the emotions, and like rushing out of the kitchen.
Yeah, so excited.
It's gorgeous. It's
so sweet.
And just like how like he didn't know how to take the compliment almost. Like he was then like turning to the bartender, like looking for advice, and then like go for it sort of thing. Like I know that's more towards the date side of it, but just gorgeous. Just a gorgeous character.
So sweet.
Now, do we think that Pretty is Buddy's child?
I hope so.
Because you gotta think, Buddy having their very first child, no, we don't know if it's very first child, but having a baby boy, what's the first thing they're gonna say to the baby boy?
Pretty.
It's gonna be, you're pretty. Like, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I like it. I like that theory.
Me too. I'll subscribe to that.
Yeah.
I'll subscribe to that theory. That'll probably be our tamest theory tonight. That'll be the tamest one.
Yeah.
So strap in, folks. It only goes downhill from here. But yeah, such a beautiful character. And I love how just everyone melted when he said his name was Pretty. Like that was just it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But then with okay, go ahead.
Arranging a date with because they were running out of time.
Oh my God.
We'll get to the bounty hunter in a second, but they're running out of time and Pretty's about to return, and just Imogen.
Wait.
You can see too, like Laura kind of playing into it of like, is this what I want to say? But yeah, is asking Pretty, when does he get off?
When do you get off?
Do you want to go for a date? And then they said, with you? Like, any of us?
Anyone at the table. I'm just bringing them in, throwing them under the bus.
I swear, if they miss the date with Pretty...
that's what I was thinking.
That's
so
gotta be the most evil thing.
They can't. They cannot miss the date. But it's looking like they might. But I certainly hope not.
I can't deal with the thought of like Pretty waiting at the bar.
I know.
Like having done his hair a little bit.
And it's raining too.
And it's raining.
It's raining.
And then like the bartender coming up like, it's okay, Pretty.
Oh no. No.
This is our new Caleb dies.
This is
Pretty not having a date.
No, this is bad angst though. This is just sad. This isn't even angst. This is just depression. This is just.
Oh my God.
I will actually probably cry. I'm not lying.
A change petition.
Yeah. Oh no.
Take Buddy on his date. Not Buddy. Take Pretty on his date.
Well, hopefully, Hopefully it'll be fine, but it's looking very not fine right now.
It is.
But yes, so Chetney, Dorian, and Ashton were able to sneak back into the secret chamber behind that serving cart that was in the kitchen. And inside is one of my favorite characters, my favorite NPCs now of this campaign, Artana Vo, an absolute badass of a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Even just in this small scene, like, you could totally, catch her deal and what she's all about, her skill. Yeah, I loved that scene with Artana. Good.
Yeah, she's really cool. Because they just barged straight into the place.
They really did.
They've got no real
They're so entitled.
Yeah, they've got no real excuse for being there. And then also bringing Dorian, who looks like his brother.
I know.
And
yeah,
it up.
let's bring Dorian to an infamous bounty hunter who looks like his brother, who has a very massive bounty on his head. Oh yeah.
She wasn't dropping it either. Like, that was like...
Yeah,
she kept prodding at it to the point where she's like, ooh, we should go.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we should probably... Like, you seem business-oriented and you seem, like, chill when, like, you're paid well, but when there's 20,000 gold on the line, we gotta go. We gotta go.
Yeah. 100%.
We're done here. But we did get some information from Artana. We got who she was hired by. One Vali. On the page notes, Vali Detrana. Vali Detrana, the business connoisseur of the Moon Tower in the Mirror Towers.
See, this is what I'm
or the
talking
Mirror
about.
Spires. I can't remember.
It's like it's kind of like getting a little bit too many place names.
I'm guessing we're kind of having a similar, like, High Richter situation kind of deal. Here, maybe.
Yes,
but...
it is the Moon Tower within the Mirror Towers to Vali Detrana. I've got this. This is a part of the core spire.
Yes, and it's a part of the core spire. It's also where the Shande Quorum is.
Now,
the Shande Quorum run the city. Yes.
Yes.
That is.
Yes.
I think that's.
Yeah.
Are we right? Are there any other lore experts in the chat that can tell us if we're wrong?
I think it's fine. I think that sounds right.
That sounds about right. But what is Gurge's involvement here? Because before we're like, okay, you could be a druid.
Yes.
Could be a druid.
Yes.
But Artana dropped a little hint, a little tips and tricks thing. She said, just don't get bit.
Don't get bit. Why would we not want to be bit? What reason?
What could possibly go wrong if a beastly man who turns into a wolf-like creature bites you? What could that be linked to?
Totally normal. No worries there.
Nothing weird going on there. But you could just see, like, Travis's reaction as all of this is unfolding.
Did Travis create Gurge, or was that just like a part of his hook to bring him to the city? You're looking for a character. You're looking for an NPC, because it's easy to think, like, if Travis made this character, then he might make him a werewolf. But if this is just something that it's going to be like, hey, Travis, your character Chetney's traveling to Jussar to find this, like, and that's the hook Matt gave him, then it's more interesting that it's going to be a werewolf character.
Yeah.
But what if... What if Chetney knows this already? Because Chetney described Gurge as, like, a craftsman, as like a master craftsman that he was going to learn from. But we haven't seen too much of Gurge being a master craftsman. They've been to that.
I think what it was is Gurge knew a master craftsman, and Gurge was like the middleman. I think that's what it was.
Okay, my bad. Okay, theory still stands, because what if Chetney, I forgot his name for a second, Chetney is being sent to Gurge as like a master. Well, Gurge isn't the master. What I'm saying is Chetney might be a werewolf as well, and is going to learn from Gurge how to control being a werewolf.
Oh, interesting.
There you go. That's the theory I was trying to get out. could we finally have werewolf Travis, but in the form
This would
of
be the campaign. And Chetney, that would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect. Because I think someone, maybe it was either Sam or Liam, that was like, Travis, you missed your chance at being a gnome werewolf or something. Travis, I'll have to go back and look at his reaction. Maybe it was telling.
Because he was kicked out of Utherdurn. Well, kicked out of, and he had to leave Utherdurn. He's, no, I'm on the werewolf train. They're doing it to us again. Like the theory of someone's a werewolf.
The theory train is going down. It's going down right now. So bear with us, y'all. We're getting into the tinfoils. We're putting on our tinfoil hats here now.
Well, at this stage, I think it's still pretty founded. Like, we've got some founded theories at this point.
Yeah.
Just wait.
For sure.
They're going to go off. The rails there's a sign up ahead saying, no track.
Yep.
It's barreling ahead.
No track. There's nothing ahead. But then eventually they do part ways with Artana. But with the weight of Cyrus being in danger now, potentially being hunted by Artana. Not a good move on Dorian's part, but panicking under pressure and revealing stuff. It happens. It happens.
They're such a recognizable party too. I feel like they've made her job so easy of like tracking him because they've just got to follow the party and eventually they're going to come into contact with him. But she did also mention that she's not the only one after the bounty. Like, it's not an exclusive contract. So that's also very concerning.
Yeah, I feel they just have so much. They have so much to worry about. Like, I had forgotten about Cyrus's bounty earlier on. Because, again, it's that whole idea of, like, there's just so much being built on each other.
Did we learn this episode where the bounty was from?
It's the Treshies.
The Treshies, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was their thing that was stolen.
Yeah, because there's the initials JH, and I think Ashton is connected with them somehow. I think.
He says he knows something potentially about it. He's so, like, cagey.
I know.
I want them to delve deeper into that because at the moment they're still very face level companions, I guess. Yeah. They're working together. They're definitely more colleagues and co-workers than they are, which is fair. That's how a lot of D&D parties start. But it's different to, I suppose, say the Mighty Nine, who were companions out of convenience. These guys are companions because they work together. Yeah. So I get the whole kind of, work-life balance of not prying into someone's backstory or prying into someone's motives, but they might need to start doing that with Ashton, because Ashton is real cagey, and Ashton either is letting on that they know more than they do, or is trying to pretend they know more than they do. I want to see that come to a head eventually. There's still something, like, with Ashton, I still think there's some kind of memory issue. There's still some kind of personality issue with their brain being exposed like that. Is that even?
There's gotta be. There's gotta be.
Like, it's a really cool just design feature, but I don't trust Taliesin to not have specific meaning behind the design features he picks.
He said something very sus.
Ooh.
This episode. That gave me a bit of pause. Well, I thought it was sus. It was correct for, like, the situation that they were talking about, but he says, family and peril can make people do stupid things.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, because I mean, usually Ashton doesn't really say, like, such insightful things. Then he said said that, and then he said, like, another, like, pretty insightful thing in regards to that. So
he said that to Vo, didn't he? He said that to the bounty hunter because he was suggesting that that's why Dorian was acting strangely. Yeah, family in peril, which feels like if she didn't like recognize straight away that Dorian was related, that was kind of like throwing Dorian a little bit under the bus.
True.
And being like, hey. I get it might have been like Ashton trying to play it a bit cool and a bit suave, like, yeah, we know that his brother's got a bounty in his head, but it kind of felt a bit like, hey, if you didn't know already, like, his brother's got a bounty on his head.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though, it is kind of like a fairly insightful comment to make. And yeah, it makes you think if there's any kind of backstory to that comment as well. Yeah.
Only time will tell. I just wrote that down. I said Ashton kind of sus when he said this, and then I quoted it.
Sus.
So that's pretty much all I had with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so eventually they rejoined the rest of the party, and this is when the date was established with Pretty.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
It's so good. It's so good. But speaking of Pretty,
yes,
let's look at some Pretty fan art.
Ooh, yay!
Starting with a topical piece, starting with your pick, Alana.
Yay!
As we switch over to our fan art. Let's see. We have this beautiful, pretty, if you will, art done by @DriusMaker on Twitter.
Yay!
So good.
It's so cute.
So good. The tears.
Now there was a lot of like pretty fan art.
Oh yeah, there was.
Like this exact framing almost, but I just loved this one because it's just so, the lighting's so beautiful. You just look so happy.
I know.
Oh.
It's so precious. It's so pure. If anything bad happens to Pretty, I will be so upset. I would not be able to handle that. Not in this 2022. This is the year of Pretty.
This is the year of Pretty. God, hopefully.
But yes, absolutely gorgeous character. And my pick for fan art, I think I have a weakness, y'all. I have a weakness. Oh. Because my pick for this week is similar to my pick for our previous episode.
Yeah.
But I can't help it. I just love Ashton and FCG so much. This adorable fan art done by @the Lord on Twitter. They're just so them. It's them.
God.
They're so cute.
That's so cute.
I know. But I also just love the
Oh, you go.
I was gonna say I love the tattoos on Ashton in this one. The vibrant tattoos. But they're so good. They're so good.
I like the idea of just FCG just enjoy the hug.
Yeah. Yep. It's
That's
just a
really
simple expression. But then FCG being the only one that Ashton would like express.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
that's
affection
what I was
towards.
Yeah. He's too cool to hug people in public.
Yeah. Never be seen really doing
cool
that.
Action.
Yeah, I love their dynamic so much. They're a cute duo, and I love them.
It's very sweet.
But anyways, getting back on track. Unless, did you have a thought?
No, I was trying to think. There was something in the episode where Ashton said something, and SCG was like what? Like I'm gonna have to find it now because it's inconsequential to everything we're talking about. But I remember there's just a moment where FCG said something.
Oh yes, it was when they were talking about the date, and FCG was like, "Are you guys gonna fuck this guy?" And then and Ashton was like, "What did you read?"
Yeah, it might have been that.
Yeah,
that was great. The conversation about their dates and like what they sort of like. Good stuff. Really good stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, so they leave the Soot and Swill and they head to the mirror towers of the core spire.
Indeed.
This is a really cool area too, by the way. It reminded me of the was it the Tri-Spires in Zadash? Is that what they were called?
Yeah.
The Tri-Spires, that super
kind of rich
area. High class area. Reminded me of that a little bit, especially because it was
gated. Get into it. Yeah, gated.
Yeah, they couldn't get into it, but they were. One thing. All right, this is when it begins. For me, at least, it's when it begins. There's a lot of talk of Ruidus this episode. We got a little bit of Ruidus lore.
I can't.
Because I remember they were like, what phase is like the moon in? Or like, is the moon up? And then Matt was like, so there's Katha's waning or whatever. And then like, what about Ruidus? Well, Ruidus doesn't really wax or wane. It's kind of like they're in the middle of the sky. And then Matt was like, it's Ruidus's time of year.
Yeah, because it appears and disappears. There's times of the year where it's not visible, which is horrifying.
Yep.
So it's Ruidus' time of the year.
Yeah. But he talked about how it glows and flashes at times. That people born under the Ruidus moon are condemned to be cursed. Aww.
The one mooner theory is growing a lot stronger.
Yeah. Why does it flash and glow like that? What's going on there? Is there something maybe within it that's trying to get out?
It obviously has. I mean, it can't not be. It's been too well set up that there is something fucky with Ruidus, and the fact that the Call of the Netherdeep, the new campaign adventure that they're bringing out, how it features Ruidus as like a feature, great words, a feature of that campaign. There has to be something. We've talked about it before about how I kind of don't want the full-on description and explanation of whatever Ruidus is to be in a book. I'd love to see it on the show.
Yeah.
When does the Call of the Netherdeep come out? Because maybe we might get something before then.
Good question.
I'll check it out.
I know. I would imagine this year.
Yeah. I just searched the Call of the Netherderp. March. It's coming in March.
So we've got a few episodes.
It's too exciting. The concept of this celestial body that is somehow evil or malaligned, and it's affecting them.
Yeah.
Or it could just be that Matt knows how feral we are for the moons. He keeps bringing it up. It could be nothing, or it could be a big egg with Mr. T inside it. Not Mr. T, the actor.
Yeah, the other Mr. T, the chained Mr. T.
The Chain T. Yeah. Well.
The Chain T, is that his rap? Is that his rapper name?
The Chain T.
T.
Chain T. Yeah. Sure. Wow.
You're right. That's where he records all of his SoundCloud raps in Ruidus. There's really good sound
acoustics.
quality. Acoustics within Ruidus. Yeah, that's the word I was fishing for. So yeah, Chain T, premier up and coming SoundCloud rapper, coming to you later this campaign. Yeah, no, it's great.
I gotta get on board with this one.
I'm riding this one. I'm riding this theory solo. I am on my own. I'm on my own.
Evil guy is a SoundCloud rapper.
Yep. I will be the sole owner of this theory, and I will die with the ship. I will go down with the ship. Yes. Okay. So they're unable to gain access into.
Yes.
I think they needed some kind of a letter, and so they scoot their boots right on back over to Lord Esteros, Daddy Esteros, come to save the day.
Baking.
And the baking, the new recipe, the maple, cinnamon, turmeric
cookies.
Cookies.
With a bit of ginger as well.
A bit of ginger, yeah.
Yeah, it's a health cookie. It's healthy for you.
Yeah, it's good for the throat, as Lana had said.
He's great. Lord Esteros is great.
I love him.
You get the real sense that this is someone that hasn't, he's spoken to one person for maybe, the past couple of years. Is just such a hermit, such a closed-off nobody, but clearly loves people because he's been so open and inviting. And just, Matt was killing it with the NPCs tonight. The way he played up Esteros's, pride in his baking. Just he's so happy and so excited that people enjoy it. Yeah, it was good. Great characterization. I mean, I think I say that every What the Sheet episode. Matt killed with the NPCs tonight.
But it's true. He really does. And he deserves all the praise. All the praise that he gets. But eventually, they do get the letter. They do get the letter from Lord Esteros and are able to make their way back to the Mirror Towers and gain access into The moon tower. And it seemed like there was 4. I'm guessing there's sun tower. There seemed to be like a water tower, a wave tower, maybe.
Do we know? Did they say?
I can't remember what the other one was. I can't remember. Because Matt described like the symbols that were like above like the doorways, like
oh right, yeah, probably.
But irrelevant. We're only here for the moon tower. That's all we care about.
Yeah.
And getting to the bottom of what Vali Detrana wants with Gurge. And upon entering, we met a new NPC, yet another NPC. This dark elf. You know what? I was hoping, fingers crossed, I was hoping this was going to be the new Essek. The new Essek of the campaign. That's what I was hoping for. And books. And books and knowledge and stuff. I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, fair.
Damn.
Very cool.
But alas, it was not.
They were just a little scribe.
But Fern, oh boy. Fern learned the hard way this episode to not...
Did she?
No, she didn't learn. She didn't learn. Even going blind and being electrified, that's not... Yep.
This is just an experience.
Enough. But I do love the dynamic of Ashen and Fern stealing from each other, going back and forth with stealing. I love that. I hope that carries on throughout the campaign.
It's going to turn out to be like a vestige or something.
Yeah.
like
it keeps passing between them.
Of the Loxodon god or something, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually a little hammer. It's a little cord hammer, isn't it? It's going to be a vestige of cord.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's probably what it'll be. But things started off really suspicious in this scene when this individual returned and was explaining how Vali was not here. They didn't seem to be around, or that they couldn't find him. And so already then, like the stage was set for tension and for uncertainty and mystery, which was really cool.
Didn't they start by saying like Vali's asleep or something, or Vali's like busy? Or like they led them to believe that they were in the room, just like predisposed, and then they came back and said, no, they're not actually here. Which, I mean, to the person's credit, they could have truly believed that they were in the office, and then went into the office and seen that, you know, oh, they're not here because the bookshelf was closed, like the hidden passage was closed. They could just like, strange, but okay, I'll go pass this on to these weirdos. Yeah, so I want to hope that this person's not in on it. I have no stakes for this NPC, but still, like, I like the idea that this is not a whole government corruption. This is just like maybe a Vali corruption. So interested to see how deep it goes. But yeah, came back to the party. No, he's not here.
He's a little busy right now. Yes, because as Kate Dice is saying, I think the first line was that he was like in a meeting or something.
Yeah.
But then eventually, being rather persistent, and really pressing the matter, but that end, he's not around. He's not in.
Yeah.
A little sus, but the party can't just be satisfied with that. Coming back tomorrow. Who wants to come back tomorrow? We need to know what's in that study.
Now, damn it.
We need to know. And so Chetney, going invisible and following this poor worker into the study. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I'm concerned, and it's a little bit of a jump ahead, but we can come back to it. About they only got into the office because Imogen gave him the letter to put on the guy's desk.
Yes.
Which we can come back to later of why that's concerning. Yeah.
That is a little concern. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
But we have Chetney entering the room.
We have Chetney entering the room, being locked within.
Yes. I didn't notice the door getting locked behind him. Like I must have missed that part of the conversation where he's of course the door was going to be locked behind him.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my god.
But then we have our map. We got our map.
Yes.
From this scene.
Otrin Wilds, is that it? Is that the region? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
So that was super cool. Map reveal. Like, how does he just have these things Like, was he? Did he? Because he obviously had the map.
Yeah.
But was he just like, I guess this could be a good time to like introduce the map? He probably just has one like laying out on the
Well, I think
table.
it's got like trade routes on it, so.
So is did he plan for them to go into the office? Did he plan that?
I think it's fucking Matt Mercer. He's just prepared for anything.
Oh my god.
Like, he knew they were looking for Gurge, which would probably lead them to Vo, which would probably lead them to Varley. So
yeah.
I think he just kind of had it there ready because he's like, okay, well, they could possibly take this path and find Varley this episode. Whether or not he expected them to get as far as where they got is another thing, but
True.
I think it's reasonable to assume they might have made it to the office. Knowing them. Knowing
True. Matt knows his players better than all of us. But there's a lot of money in this room.
There's a lot of money, yeah. And we also had Chetney furthering the werewolf theory, say like, do I smell or hear anything in this room?
Yeah.
Why would he be smelling? Like, I'm just saying, werewolves have advantage on that sort of shit. So like, I'm just adding that to the little pile, like just a little bit on top of the pile of, like, why would he be just suddenly, interested in smelling and like seeing if he can sense anything? I'm just saying. I'm just, it's just out there.
I think maybe not to, because I wanted to agree with your theory
it's just
as well,
out there.
but not to dispute it. But it could be because Gurge has been talked about having like a very bad BO. Maybe that's
could be.
But no, he's using his wolf senses.
100%.
Yes,
yeah, he's using his werewolf senses.
Yes, 100%. Totally agree.
It's fine.
But that first chest had like 100 platinum, which I think is 1,000 gold, which is a lot. That's a lot of gold.
Yeah. Nothing to scoff at.
And who knows how much that other heavy velvet sack had. Only imagine just as much.
He described the velvet sack, but I didn't get the sense that there was coin in there. I got the sense that maybe it might have been an object or an item in there.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Which is exciting, because, objects, items, yay.
Yeah. Could be either. But unfortunately we didn't get to know. Because we had there was another hidden staircase. That seemed to be the theme of this episode. Hidden doorways and hidden doors behind bookcases.
Yes.
But this time it was actually a bookcase. This time it was not a serving tray. It was not anything like that. It was in fact a hidden door.
I love me a little mechanism hidden bookshelf thing. Like, that's just so classic kind of mystery.
I feel like watching like Scooby Doo.
Yeah, it's very Scooby Doo.
Whenever there's like a hidden door or anything.
It's great.
That. But now.
And it's I think that's the predicament you have as a D&D player of like, it's a bad idea to go into this alone. Like, it makes so much sense that it's a bad idea, but he played it really well. Chetney's here for a reason. Chetney's here to find Gerd. Chetney's here now. There's no reason why he wouldn't, try. But you gotta think, and I mean, Travis he said before, he's like a, explore every room type player. So it makes sense. It was a perfect storm for, of course he's gonna go.
Yeah, true.
Himself. Probably a bad idea, not denying it, but still gonna do it anyway. And he did.
And it did, and it led to, oh boy.
Just so out of left field of
oh boy.
Was not expecting this.
But first, what set the stage for what the heck are they involved in is the shorthand notes that were in the trade ledger.
Yes.
Talks of the Nightmare King? Huh? Requested by the Nightmare King, bring alive. Who the hell is the Nightmare King?
What the fuck?
That was the initial thought. Who is the Nightmare King? But keep Nightmare in your mind. Keep that in your mind. Because then the Chetney hearing a conversation between Vali, I'm assuming it's Vali, and a compatriot with an interesting name that we have heard before.
We have, yes.
Ira, or Ira.
Ira, yeah.
Would you like to tell the folks at home, Alana, where we've heard this name before?
Oh, just a little place called the Somnovum.
Yep. Yep.
It's a lot.
But okay.
Yeah.
If that wasn't what was setting the stage for me was the name the Nightmare King.
Yes.
Now I don't think that's Ira. It could be Ira, but it seemed like they were talking about like a patron.
Yes.
Like there was
Yes.
someone else. But
That's
Ira
what I
does seem to be beast-like or not humanoid in nature because Valley called it a freak. It mentioned wanting like a sacrifice or something.
And Matt was doing the creepy voice.
And Matt was doing the creepy voice. But okay, so we have here are the three things that make my lore sirens go pew pew pew. Nightmare King, the name
King.
Ira,
Yeah.
and accompanying that the creepy nature of their voice and the freak and wanting sacrifices, and the beautiful pattern.
Patterns, yes.
The beautiful pattern. Are you kidding?
I don't know.
What is happening?
I don't know what I want, Nico. I don't know.
What is happening here? Like I messaged you after the episode was over. Yeah. I was like, it's Ruidus' time. Theros doing the Som Novum. We're back, baby. We're back.
It's a lot. It's a lot, okay? So I can't imagine it's the same Ira, but it's too big a name choice.
I know. Yeah.
For
and he specifically said it.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have to name drop them.
Exactly.
But he did.
Like one of those weird conversations like, and that's why I said that to you, Nico. Like you don't drop the name at the end of a sentence unless you're trying to tell people the name.
Yeah.
Like it's I mean,
what the heck?
Oh god.
Because
so anyway, I want to go through the transcript. I want to go through what was said because it is interesting. So Varley started with, "Our patron is pushing for legislation in the coming weeks. Yes. So whatever you plot, it must be quickened." So their patron sounds like someone on the quorum,
yes.
Right? So it sounds like probably a regular humanoid live person, maybe.
I'm guessing it'll probably be the Treshy person.
Yeah, it's kind of pointing towards the Treshies being the dodgy house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ira says, "Your dulled mind fails to grasp the beautiful pattern I've already constructed across the city." Mm-hmm. So now, that to me could be like, like setting things up around the city. Not so much like, I mean, my first thought, unfortunately, was like a giant transmutation circle, like in Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
But I kind of think it's like more things have happened. I've set up these scenarios around the city, which makes me think of, animated furniture. It makes me think of mimic wars. It makes me think of ghost sightings. I'm not sure how they might have been controlled with the werewolf, but it makes me think of things like, creepy simulacrum dwarf Ublex things. Yeah. All these things also, to some extent, feel like nightmare scenarios. Like,
and bringing it back to the wall, the mimic wall. The Treshies were the ones who were contracted to do that. We got Ira, the Som Nova, like the vibes that this wall was giving me was very Cognoza. That's just me. So it all comes together.
I mean, they're Joe, like, I'll just say, like, Joe Harty and Chad, just the way they phrased Nightmare King equals big bag evil of the last campaign. That's a good point. The Som Novum were all about getting in your dreams. Yeah. And, like, what if it is like, it could be like a remnant of the Som Novum. It could be a remnant of this dream-esque psychic.
What did they do with the book? What did they do with that Som Novum book?
I thought it was destroyed, maybe.
Was it? Because because people are saying that Ira was specifically killed. So if that is the case, what if this book wasn't destroyed, and all of these years later, this person stumbled upon it, and read it, and now thinks that they are Era or something, like one of the Somnovum.
Ooh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's like a copycat kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out what happened to the book.
Oh, did they send it to another realm? Did they give it to Yusa? Get rid of, maybe? Or Allura?
Maybe.
Can't?
Was it? No, that's Halas. I'm just gonna quickly check out the Era page on the Crit Roll Wiki.
Yes. And I went back. Because I was like, I wonder if this is the same voice. Yeah. I was like, I wonder if Matt used the same voice in Campaign 2 for this one. I went back and nowhere close. Still creepy, but the Era from Campaign 2 had a much more, like, angry, sinister, like, rage-fueled voice.
Angry. Yeah. What if they're like... What if it's like, kind of in the sense that you have the cult of Vecna. What if this is like a cult of the Somnovum, and like it could just be like a really powerful mage or something that is that they take on the names of like the Somnovum, because I feel like they were destroyed. They're pretty adequately destroyed. I feel like it would be a bit of a slap in the face of the Mighty Nine if the Somnovum weren't completely destroyed.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Nightmare King could just be, oh god, I don't even know. Like it could be like a power. Like I don't want to say Lich because Lich seems obvious, but calling someone the Nightmare King, that implies some sense of, I don't know. Whenever I hear king, I get some sense of like boastfulness or pride, like in the negative aspect of pride. Like they're calling themselves a king. It's not just like, oh, the nightmare. It's the Nightmare King. It reminds me a little bit of the it's in the comics at the moment, but the ice lich, was it? The lich that they fought in the Vox Machina fought like really early in their campaign before the show started. I can't remember his name either. But it just makes me think of like a powerful creature that is, intelligent and humanoid potentially. What?
Because
no, I'm gonna stop.
Talking about all this stuff, like we also have Delilah to worry about still. Delilah / maybe Vecna.
Yeah.
Like there's still all of that. There's still Imogen's dream that she had of like an apocalypse.
There's a lot. There's a lot happening.
And Oshad and the attack on Zephyra. There's a there's so much to be afraid of.
That's it too, yeah. It's like things are going pretty chill until this came up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nightmare King. Ooh, I like that. Dice and dishes, you get us. Nightmare King is a servant of the Chained Oblivion. Pretty good, because you gotta think, like, the Chained Oblivion is all about madness and, and sowing discontent.
It's pretty nightmarish.
Yeah.
What
was the name of Liam's character from that one shot, from Sam's one shot, that was a cleric to the Chained Oblivion? I can't remember her name.
Oh.
I would love for her to come back at some point.
Oh, I can't remember.
It wasn't Lilith, was it? That seems like too obvious.
That would be cool, though.
I'd love to see like clerics of the Chained Oblivion.
Buddy? Oh yeah.
Jane, that's it, Jane.
Jane. Ah, okay.
I think you can.
Yeah, Buddy was the cleric to the Chained Oblivion.
Oh no! It's what is it? It's Darth Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, it's the.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it could be anything. So I'm trying to filter my theories because I feel like we've only gotten a name, and we could suggest literally anything for who the Nightmare King might be. But I like the idea that it is something to do with dismantling the city to some extent, or taking control of the city to some extent.
Yeah.
Because Ira's suggesting that they've laid out patterns. I think it could be this idea that all the strange shit that's been happening has been planned and it has been, put in place. And now they've got a werewolf supposedly in their control.
Yeah.
Who knows what might happen next with that? It's almost like fairy tale nightmares a bit as well. Like I'm getting this kind of real Sandman-esque like nightmare. Like, has anything been mentioned this campaign about, you know, people struggling to sleep or just being like, I'm trying to think. I can't think of any. I went straight to like the Wildmount Guide and looked at all the gods and all the greater beings to see if anything kind of matched. Nothing really does. Maybe like Ceratos is kind of close. Wait, I just lost it. There we go.
Oh, no.
Ceratos is like a being that slipped from the Far Realm into Exandria from the founding. Ceratos is one of the oldest... Sorry, spoilers for the Wildmount Guide.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys are playing in a campaign with Ceratos or anything, just a heads up. Ceratos is one of the oldest creatures in the world, a single creature of many minds. Ceratos reveled in chaos. Kind of like... Ceratos retreated underground, their minds unraveling as they entered a nightmarish slumber. The digging of the Crawling King worked Ceratos a long time ago. And their minds are all scattered and they're trying to come back together. Ceratos tells their followers that chaos brings clarity and destruction begets rebirth. Is that kind of the closest thing I can think of?
Sounds pretty close. Probably the closest
again,
one.
It could be just something completely off or like different or new.
But
my god, yeah.
It is quite sinister.
Sinister, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Does not sound good. I mean, anyone named the Nightmare King, you know, that's gotta be some
It doesn't sound like they're your friend.
No, can't say that.
I'm excited though for this link of it seemingly being connected with someone in power in the city and that this is some kind of disruption attempt.
Yeah, love me a good conspiracy.
I like how it is little bit aspects of the kind of the political intrigue from the second campaign, but the high fantasy elements of like, you know, we're mashing it all together. So I'm really excited for that, but we don't know enough yet. We don't have enough
I know. Like, we're so close. There's so much that's happening.
And I feel like they're just going to run straight back to Lord Esteros and be like, have you heard of the Nightmare King? Like,
yep. They're going straight. That's probably where they're going. They're going straight back. But they still can't. They can't miss the date.
They can't miss the date
with Pretty.
I swear to God.
They can't.
I swear to God if they miss the date.
I'll be so sad. I'll be so sad.
But I did have that little bit then at the end.
Yes. The intense escape of Volley swinging the sword around the room trying to find whoever had broken in. That was super intense.
I wonder if Matt was going to like kind of because he was doing it quite slowly, and I feel like there might have been a chance that he wasn't going to find him. I think it was going to be like maybe he lunges and it just misses your hat, and then he grunts and opens the door to leave or something.
That's what I was thinking was going to happen too.
Yeah, but Chetney being Chetney was just like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. Which is even better.
Perfect.
Because it's
Absolutely
way more interesting and exciting.
Crashing through the window.
My God. I was terrified because like they hadn't really spoken about like where they were in the tower, but all I could think was this is a tower. They could be like floors up. So when he's like, I crashed through the window, I was like, what if he like dies?
Yeah, please don't be like 6 stories up. Oh God.
Oh my God.
No,
yeah,
that was bad.
Jenga. It was a very Vax move. It's a very rogue move. I mean, actually, yeah, because Not did this as well during the heist in the house. Just dive through the windows.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do. You don't want to get caught.
It's a rogue thing.
Oh yeah. But I mean, he was able to escape for the most part. But now what the heck do they need?
That letter.
But the letter, that's gonna cause some problems. Because now Volley has a name and a potential lead for someone to go after. And it's tied to Lord Esteros too, so...
You think this is gonna get Lord Esteros killed?
I hope not. But now I'm thinking about it.
It's gonna be like Lord Esteros killed in mysterious werewolf attack.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no.
oh, something bad's gonna happen.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
But I'm so excited for it.
But I'm so excited for the angst, for the I love like now it feels like we're in it. We're in it.
Yeah, because it's jumped up a level. It's gone
Yeah.
from
Side quests.
Meet with these I don't know, what do you call the Corsairs? Meet with the Corsairs, or, investigate these disappearances, to now it's like, oh, there is something fucky happening here in this city.
Mm-hmm.
This is way beyond our pay grade, but we're gonna go for it anyway. Like, because, I don't see them going and reporting this to Esteros and be like, great, off we go. Like, this is very much... I mean, it's the case of D&D, it's the case of the actors, but also the characters. The characters themselves seem like the type that would be like, okay, this is bad, we should probably try and do something to help. Whereas you can make a case for a lot of D&D characters where it's like, I'm not doing this, like, this is not my job. So they're gonna have to deal with it. There's something to happen. Something's coming from this. And there's a ball coming up.
And a ball. That'll be the nice break from all of the chaos and the angst. That'll be our moment. But even then, probably not. Probably not.
I mean, think about... No, I was going to say, what if the attack on Brescia is like a part of the plan as well? Like, mysterious attack of invisible assailant. Like, that's all kind of nightmare scenarios. I'm trying to think of now other things I've heard from the city of what could potentially be linked to this greater plan of shit happening. Because there's been no explanation for any of it. There's like the floating furniture. Pfft, just happened. The mimic war just happened. It has to be connected. Where's my corkboard? I need string.
I need to tie it all together, but no, I agree. Yeah. I agree. Because at first we were like, I feel like there's so many just random things that are being told to us, like through lore and stuff. Like, are they just all isolated bits and pieces? But now it's starting to seem like these pieces are coming and fitting together into this massive puzzle, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm very keen.
But do we have any other thoughts, feelings, or emotions, concerns about this episode? I mean,
the number one concern, though, let's be real, the most concerning matter we face
100%
is the date with Pretty.
Could not agree more. It needs to happen still.
I will
no rain checking.
I don't care how much I love the party and like how much they grow and how much they become fan favorites and they save the world. That's great. I can love them for all that, but I will never forgive them.
Never.
Never forgive them. Never. It'll be this darkness that hangs over the party forever if they miss this date with Pretty.
Yep. 100% agree.
They can't do this to him.
They simply
he
cannot.
Doesn't deserve this.
No. But I'm excited to learn more about this beautiful pattern and what Era is all about and who their patron is.
Oh my god.
Nightmare King. Oh boy. But we only have a couple more, 2 more episodes, I think.
And then a week
of this month and a week off, because then we got Legends of Vox Machina at the end of this month coming up real soon.
So that's
soon.
going to be the week off, isn't it? That comes out
3 weeks from today, I think.
So we're going to have 2 episodes, and then the week that they're off is the week that Vox Machina comes out.
It's the week of Legends of Vox Machina.
Ooh!
Oh my god! It's almost
That's really
here.
exciting.
Almost here.
Although, now here's the thing. Is that when it comes out on Amazon Prime?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Are they still doing the early release for backers?
Oh.
I
don't know.
I wasn't a backer, so.
I don't know.
I've got to wait for the Amazon Prime release.
Same, but I can't.
Oh, okay, cool.
I cannot.
I feel like that if that's the date they were advertising, that's the day it comes out on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. We'll have to have a chat about it.
Definitely. Oh, I know. It's going to be great. I think there's going to be join the Discord server if you're not already in there, because we're going to be doing a watch party and stuff.
Yes.
There's a link to the Discord server in the description below. You can just click on that sucker. But yeah, I guess if that's all we have for this episode, we can go ahead.
It could be a lot more, but I think we should rate it in.
I know. Listen, Therisdune is still connected in here. Ruidus is his prison. SoundCloud rapper, Chain T.
I blocked that out immediately.
And turning off my ears. But yeah, thank you all so much, as always, for joining us for this crazy discussion. We are finally getting into the meat of this campaign. All of these different story threads are starting to come together, and I am just so excited because each of them are so interesting.
Yeah,
it's great.
Nah, it's good. I think I said like at the end of the last episode that as much as I was enjoying it, I was really waiting for this kind of like the consolidating arc, like a big thing to bring them together. And the idea now that the little things they've been doing might be related to this now big. We don't know how big, but it sounds kind of big. Threat that is facing the city. I am 100% in. I am like, let's go, let's figure this out.
100%.
I'm super excited for next week.
It's gonna be so. I don't know how they're gonna get out of this situation.
Yeah.
So be sure to tune in next week when we discuss the episode.
Yeah.
But as always, thank you all so much for coming out and watching, chit chat, and showing your support here on YouTube, and whoever's gonna be watching this when it gets uploaded, or on Spotify, Anchor, or wherever else this podcast may find itself. You can also support us by following us on Twitter. At What the Sheep Pod on Twitter, where we post updates on when we're going live and a bunch of other stuff. So be sure to shoot us a follow there for What the Sheep Podcast updates. We appreciate you guys. Hope everyone's having a good 2020 so far, or 2022 so far. Oh boy, 2020. Oh god, we're back. We're back.
Oh no.
2020 never ended.
Oh my god.
I hope everyone's been resting up, staying safe, staying healthy. During these times. We appreciate you all. And so, you know what? Let's make 2022 the year of spreading the love. So spread that love to everyone you meet, to everyone you see, but never forget the most important part, loving yourself. Never forget to love yourself, so make sure you're taking care of yourself. Eat some food, drink some water, get plenty of rest. You deserve it. And I'm proud of you and happy that you're here with us. And so, with all of that being said, I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic rest of your morning, day, evening, wherever you may be on this glorious earth. And we'll see you all very soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.